$4.60. That's how much money that Augusta Savage had in her pockets when she packed up and moved to New York. Augusta was a kind, a bright, a loving human being, and she was an incredible advocate for her time in Harlem. She defied and pushed every boundary that society threw at her, and she overcame these challenges like racism, like sexism, like poverty, and she was able to become an incredibly influential artist in the time of the Harlem Renaissance. As she once said, "I have created nothing really beautiful, really lasting, but if I can inspire one of these youngsters to develop the talent I know they possess, then my monument will be in their work." I think this is one of the most perfect, most influential quotes that she has. I think it really defines who she was as a person, and it really emphasizes her goals in life. And her work provided an excellent example for young Black people in her community, and she really showed children with her sculptures that they have been fed a white centrist point of view, and they don't have to be what society has deemed them to be. They can be a work of art. They can be a masterpiece. And her work inspired Black people in her community to come together and value their lives more than they had been taught all these years. And I think that's something that's incredibly important. And when she was a child, she actually used natural resources like natural clay that she was able to find in the ground, and she made sculptures of animals with the natural clay that she found. And I think that's such a beautiful way to start her artistic journey. And it really shows how art is accessible, and it's not something that you have to be super rich to be able to create. You can create with nothing. So as Augusta grew up and as she became a mature artist in the field, she was very talented in her 3D sculpture art. She did iconic busts of prominent figures from the civil rights movement, and one of her most influential pieces was actually just a bust of her nephew, and it's called Gammon, and it's very popular for being what they call a street kid, and was a piece that was so influential because the boy looked like others in his community. It wasn't some tall statue, it was just a boy. And young Black children were able to see themselves in art, something that they weren't really given the opportunity to do before. And it was so influential, and it was an opportunity for children to see themselves in fine art and see themselves in the media. Some of Augusta's accomplishments: she was actually the first African-American member in the National Association of Women Painters and Sculptors, a very high title. And she also was very passionate about holding galleries dedicated to African-American art, something that had never really been done before. Her life goals, something that she really strived for, was to have the inclusion of Black artists in media. Because of the white centrist point of view, all of the media was filled with white art. Nothing was inclusive, nothing was diverse. And she was able to inspire so many people, and even though that her pieces were often destroyed because of the lack of funding, they were only temporary pieces, and she still makes an impact today. She still had a permanent mark on the community, even though her pieces were only temporary. And starting her journey with so little money, everything comes full circle, and it shows that even though that her pieces were destroyed, they still have lasting effects. And it shows that art really is truly accessible. And it really reflects back to how everything connects all together.